Kimi Antonelli is now a race winner in Formula One. He just won the Chinese Grand Prix and we're doing some quick post-race reactions. Like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments. So Kimi is now a really young race winner, one of the youngest, after just having been the youngest pole sitter this weekend. And he really executed the race so well. After not such an easy start for him in the first stint, being overtaken by Ferraris in the beginning, they made it out back and he really finished the race well. Almost gave himself a little heart attack with his lockup, just a few laps to go, but he brought it home safe. And honestly, such a joy to watch. Always such a joy, I think, for everyone. It's always, everyone's so happy to see a new Formula One race winner and to see him being so emotional as well after the race, thanking his family, the team, just for making the dream of a little boy come true. Honestly, that kind of touched me to shed a little tear as well when he was crying, basically. So honestly, that was such an awesome ending for the race. Also great to see him alongside his teammate, George. Of course, that's no surprise. Mercedes won too. And then also to have Lewis there on the podium with him. I love their dynamic as well. It's so cute how they are together. So really cool to see. And with Bono, Pete Bonington, their race engineer, or now Kimi's race engineer, used to be Lewis's, on it as well. And I think he's been as well really instrumental in just guiding Kimi along this journey as well. So that is definitely my highlight from this race. Followed by the epic fighting that we've seen in Ferrari. After they had really strong starts and they actually got my hope up a little bit to maybe they could be able to keep the Mercedes behind. But in the end, of course, they didn't. And after a while, it was clear that Mercedes is just 1-2 up front. But Ferrari kept fighting as well in between them. That was really cool to see. So many overtakes between Lewis and Charles, and just the trust that they have that they are not going to crash. Like, this is not so risky. This is just hard racing, and we're going to race hard and fair without being afraid that either one of us is going to spin off or crash into the other or anything of that sort. Like, the only thing that they said in the end in the post-press conference was that there was a tiny little touch, a tiny kiss. But really, that it was such a fun time fighting. And that's awesome to hear as well, that it's not just fun for us to watch them go back and forth and really actually race, not just try to pass whenever convenient, but actually go back and forth, no strategy. Intra-team fighting is allowed if they're all really respectful to each other. And I think that is one thing that we just saw with these great drivers, with Charles and Lewis being able to do that and enjoying it so much. And they both really were hyped to communicate this. Charles over team radio and Lewis in the post-press conference, saying that it was basically one of the best racing that he's ever had, which is crazy to hear from Lewis after all his career. So that's been the highlights of this race. Now, coming to a bit of a low light is going back to this team. Red Bull not being able to finish Max's car. So they had some power issue again and had to retire Max's car. I mean, he already had a bad start in the beginning. He barely got away from his starting position. All the cars went by left and right, and he had to claim back his position, go back through the field after a lot of time. He kind of almost got there, but then they had to retire the car. And we're not sure yet what really happened. I think it was some kind of electrical issue. The steering wheel actually went out for a second before the lights went back on again, and they told him to just retire the car. But that's something that the team really has to get on top of, because that's not the first time this happened in the season. Last weekend it was Hajar in the Australian Grand Prix, where he had to retire. This weekend it's Max, and they really have to figure this out. And while they're at it, also figure out the starts, so that if Max actually qualifies well, that it actually has a benefit for him to qualify well and not just basically be placed and stuck in the start with everyone passing by him. So that's something that I think Red Bull really needs to get on top of. Another team that needs to get on top of something is McLaren. I mean, they didn't even get to start the race. They didn't make it onto the grid, not from the pit lane. They didn't even make it out of the garage at all. They didn't figure out a way to start the car for some reason. And the rest of this weekend, they were fine. I mean, they were in quali, they were in the sprint race, no issues at all. But today, for some reason, there were just somewhere issues between the engine, power units, electrics, hydraulics. They don't know yet. At least I don't know it yet. And they said in the interviews after that they're still investigating what is the actual cause, why did it happen, why did it not let them drive. But neither of their cars could start. And that's honestly really heartbreaking for Piastri to not have driven any race basically this year, because in Australia as well he had a power unit issue, and here now he couldn't start either. And now as well Lando not being able to start, just for the whole team to be out, that's honestly kind of crazy. So they need to get on top of this ASAP, and we'll see what they can do in Japan soon. One more team that has some issues, that has been having issues that we know of course, is Aston Martin. And Stroll as well retired today, but not also him, but also Alonso retired. Not because of any car issue per se, like he didn't have a power unit failure or anything, but it was just that the vibrations that they're having on the steering wheel are so heavy that it actually caused him to kind of not have feelings in his hand anymore. And that is really crazy to hear. That is that unsafe condition where they said it could leave permanent nerve damage for drivers if they were to not get on top of this and keep driving with this situation. And I think that's why Alonso as well had to make that call to say, no, more is not possible today. I cannot feel my hands anymore. So I need to retire the car and finish this race. Although the laps really would be so important for them to get that data and to improve their car, because they didn't have all of the testing previously. But it's really, that's something that I thought it was crazy today to hear, just that a driver as Alonso, two-time world champion, and a driver that is so committed as well to it, said, hey, right now I cannot do this anymore. We need to retire the car because I cannot feel my hands. So yeah, I think those were my top takeaways from the race. I'm really happy to hear yours in the comment, and see you soon in one of our next podcasts.